Hey everyone, this is Ryder from YoGov, and I want to do a quick video update. It's Thursday, April 16th. I have some important news about the EIDL advanced program that I want to talk about, and including some numbers about who's been approved based on your application number. Um, and then I'm briefly going to touch on basically other opportunities that are available to you, such as other loans, zero interest or low interest, and preview something we're working on to help people with unemployment as well. So there's a lot to cover, but I'll try to keep it brief. Again, I'm here with Isla, and we really appreciate your support. So please like this video and subscribe. Bottom right corner, it means a lot to us. So thanks. Okay, so let's dive in. So as many of you know, we have been helping people track overall progress of the EIDL, or the EIDL advanced program, and the outlook hasn't been that good. I mentioned in the video yesterday, only 3%, 3 to 4% of people had been approved for the advance. Well, this morning, we all heard about that funding was running low, and this morning, the SBA updated their website to say they have put a pause on accepting new applications because they have run out of appropriated funding. So what that means is you cannot apply if you haven't already, but they say they are still processing these applications on a first come first served basis. Now it's unclear exactly how much is left in the pot. I think they knew that the over 3 million applications, they can't approve them all, so they said we're stopping, and now maybe they're still going through. We heard this morning people are still getting approved, yesterday as well. So, but the bad news is that now, based on our latest data, we are helping people track tens of thousands track their application number at SBALoanStatus.com. That's on our HelloSkip.com website, or you can go to SBALoanStatus.com. Less than 2% now overall have been approved. So thank you to everyone who's been self-reporting. It means a lot. It's because it's due to data like this that we can actually report on and share with you. The Wall Street Journal, New York Times, they all share anecdotal information because they can't actually get information from the SBA. So we're actually in a position where we can share some of this data. So that's the bad news, that now less than 2% of all folks have been have received some type of this EIDL advance. Okay, so we looked at the data a little bit, and so 98% of people have either a 10-digit application that starts with either 33 or 36. So 70% of people, 70%, have an application that's 33 and then 8 digits. Of those people, approximately 1.8% of their applications have been approved. So this is a slightly higher average. It's the vast majority of people, but it's a slightly higher average than the 28% of you who have an application that starts with 36. So 360 typically, and then 7 more digits. Your approval rating, let's say, is 1.6%. Okay, so again, there's still a small percentage we're talking about. So over 98% of you, period, have not received anything. There are some other numbers, starting with 2 zeros, the next most common. That's around 1 to 2%, and it's very low approval. It's lower than these two numbers too. So we wanted to see if we could understand what was common among the people who have been approved, and by and large, it is that they applied on the first day. So if you were on the West Coast, you could have applied on March 29th because they updated their website at midnight East Coast time on March 29th. And if you're on the East Coast, you could have applied on March 30th. Now, several people who we heard back from had applied before they had put up the new form. So they had applied on the longer EIDL form mid-March or earlier in March. So, and some of them were approved too. So what it looks like is they are doing it on a first come first served basis. It's just that the demand, they did not expect this type of demand, and so The big question is how much more will they allocate, right? Now, if they've done less than 2%, will they do another 2%, 5%? It's unclear. Um, Again, we're updating this information every day, so please subscribe because, um, for example, yesterday there was a higher average, and now more people self-reported, and it turned out to be lower. So maybe tomorrow there might be more disbursements. It's unclear, but we'll report on it and let you know, hey, if there's progress being made. So um, what this means is that if you were relying on the government for a lot of this funding, um, it's not looking good. At best, it may be a few $1,000s that you'll get, and you won't have to pay back. So we're hoping that you saw our other video yesterday where we talk about the individual stimulus, where you can get up to 1,200 as an individual, more if you're married or have kids. So that's a help for a lot of people. If not, go to irs.gov and you can put in your direct deposit information. That's for your individual stimulus. So two more things I want to talk about. So if we can't rely on the government for a lot of this funding, and by the way, they are still debating in Congress another $250 billion. I mentioned in a video this morning that they proposed this last week, and it's been 7 or 8 days where they've been debating. A lot of this is the Democrats don't want a bad bill passed, so it makes sense. There's a lot of money, so they're spending a few extra days talking about it. And frankly, even if they pass another $250 billion at this rate, it may mean that, okay, a few percent more of you get these types of loans. So what's important to note, and I'm going to do a whole separate video on this tomorrow, is there are other zero interest or low interest loans. I'll mention a few right now. Of course, a lot of your traditional lenders are doing very low interest loans. There are nonprofit loan companies out there like Kiva and others. I'm going to do a full segment on them because those are great opportunities to go after. Yes, they are not forgivable, but they are still low interest, and in many cases you have 6 months to defer the first payment and maybe 2-year terms. So there are good options out there, and I'm going to detail these in a video tomorrow. The last thing I'll say is for as of today, this week's unemployment insurance numbers came out. 22 million have filed for unemployment insurance in the last 4 weeks, which is astronomical. That's 20% of the U.S. workforce, almost 20%. So it's a huge number. A lot of you have been navigating the state websites, and in many cases, you're still waiting. Now, from what we've heard is, each state has its own timeline because they control their own unemployment insurance distribution. Obviously, most have some type of backlog, but some are doing better than others in distributing. One of the things we are launching later today, so you can preview now, is an unemployment tracker as well. Since we put up this loan tracker, we've had tons of people ask us, hey, what else can you help with? And I have the same questions for unemployment in terms of who else has been approved for unemployment already. I applied 2 weeks ago. Should I expect to hear something this week or next week? So we're having people self-report in a similar way for unemployment tracking at a state-by-state level. So I'll leave the link in the description, or you can go to helloskip.com/unemployment-status. That's unemployment-status. Or just go to HelloSkip, and it's in the header as well. So again, we're hoping that since many of us are going to say, look, there might be another 5 million people next week that file, and the question you'll have is, I want to know more about how much I'm eligible for and when I can expect my first unemployment insurance check. Okay, many people are asking that question. So we hope this helps. I'm going to do a longer video on that too. We're putting resources on our blog about unemployment tips. And the good news is, this is sort of good news, but many states do allow you to log in to actually see progress. Now, a lot of this is vague information that's not super helpful, but again, some states are better than others at kind of keeping you up to date on, hey, when am I going to get my unemployment insurance checks, and how does that process work? So stay tuned for that. Again, I hope this is helpful. Isla and I really appreciate you watching our video, and please subscribe. Stay safe, stay home, and please stay healthy. Thanks again.